Okay. Last session, I was just talking about how we are going to declare the arrays and how to access the elements of the arrays we are talking about. In this session, now let us talk about the objects. Now, where we'll be learning what is an object, how to access the elements of your object. That stuff we'll be talking about in this particular session now. Okay. When you say objects, what are all these objects for us? Remember, in case of your JavaScript, JavaScript treats everything, that is whatever with the variables are there, all these things, they will be treated as either the objects or they'll be treated as non-object. Depends upon how we are going to declare them. For example, let us say I'm having a variable I'm creating of the type called Boolean. And then if I'm using the new keyword, if I'm going to use it, then what happens is automatically it will be considered as an object, or what you call the reference variables we'll be talking about. Now in JavaScript, what happens is if I'm going to use a keyword called new, then they'll be acting as a reference variables, or what we call them as the objects we'll be using. Now remember what you have learned, the arrays, they are also objects only. The functions what we learned, they are also always objects for us. Now the basic data types what you have, what you call, we discussed the basic data types like int, all that. So those are the primitive data types, are not the objects for us. So except that primitive data types, the others are considered to be the objects for us. Now how we define the objects? Let's say you are going to have a simple variable is going to be there, like what you call var is there. You are having a variable called var. Sorry, I'm going to use this keyword called var to declare the variables. So when I want to declare a variable, I'm going to use a keyword called var followed with some variable name I'm using it, and then I'm assigning the value. So when I'm using this method, so here what will happen, it will allow me to store only one value, it will allow me to store for me. We have seen the arrays, we have seen where we said that arrays can be used for storing multiple values. If I want more than one value to be stored, what we are going to do is we are going to define an array. Like we have seen something like some box bracket is equal to, okay, open the box bracket, and then in the double quotes or whatever it is, you put some multiple values you're going to do it. Now there, what you call, it's an array, it's called. Now remember, array is a set of object, a set of values for me, or it is a set of data where each data in my array can be accessed using its index position. So we'll be writing a of 0 or something like a of 1, a of 2, like that we'll be writing it, right? That is what you call the index value that you'll be using it. That's how you're going to access the data of your arrays. But when you talk about the objects, now what are these objects means? These objects, they contain the data for us, but so what happens is when you talk about the arrays will be having a pair of values it will be storing for me. It will be storing a pair of values. What is the pair of values that will be storing? It is going to store the what is the name of that particular property, and then what is the value for the particular property you'll be talking about, right? So you'll be using the name of the property colon followed with the value. So this is how we are going to define the data inside my object. For example, let us say that I'm going to define an object called person. If I want to define, then so I'll be writing where person is equal to, open the flower braces. Remember, in case of the arrays, you're going to use box bracket. In case of the objects, you're going to use it flower braces, or what you call the curly braces, you're going to use it in case of the objects. In case of arrays, we are going to use box bracket. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about my arrays, what we did, we just use the box bracket and we just put some value we'll be putting it. For example, let us say that I'm putting a value 20, then comma, another value I'll be putting it. Okay, like this. But whereas in case of the objects, when I'm going to have it, so how I'm going to do is, so I'll be using some property name. So property, or you call it as some data of that particular object, followed with the colon symbol, and then you give the define the value for it. For example, let us say I'm going to have an object, what you call person object, I'm defining it. So for this object called the person, I want to have different data to be there, or what you call different characteristics, or what you call the different properties I want to have them. So properties are nothing but what, like attributes. For example, you talk about a person, you talk about what are the attributes of a person. Maybe what is the name of the person, what is the color of eye color, what is the age of the person, what is the height of that particular person. So these is what you call the properties, you call them, or you call them as the attributes, you call it. Now when I talk about my person, the object called the person, I'll be defining what are the attributes that I want it to be there. You can assume this one as like entity, what you talk about in your databases. So when I talk about my database, let us say that I'm having some student is there. So student is one of my entity. So for the student entity, I want to have some attributes are going to be there. So what are the attributes that I want to have for the student? Maybe name of the student and what is the class he is studying, what is the branch he is studying. Like that, I want to have different attributes. I want to have it. Now, in case of your objects also, what happens is we are going to define the attributes you are going to define. So this first name is acting as what you call the attribute, and then following the value for that particular attribute. Now, when I want to define multiple attributes, I want to define. So after the one attribute, I'll use a comma symbol, and then I'll be defining one more attribute. So like this, what happened? Multiple attributes I want to have it. So remember then, so you're going to put each and every attribute is being separated with a comma value, and you're going to define the multiple attributes. Now here, remember, in case of your objects, we also call object is a collection of named values. You call it as. That means we'll have multiple values will be there in combination with the multiple attributes for me. For each attribute, one value will be there. Now remember, you can also have what attribute followed with multiple values can also be there by using the arrays. If I'm going to use the arrays as a value, then it becomes multiple values for one particular attribute. Example, you may be talking about the marks. Now I want to define the marks for a student. Then what? Marks is a set of values there. Then I put a box bracket and I'll be defining them. Right. Now, let us say we talk about one of the attributes or what you call properties. So I want to have different properties. I want to be like first name, last name, age, eye color. So these are the different attributes that you are going to talk about now. Now these attributes, their values are going to have it. So different values I'm going to have it for each and every attribute. How we are going to define it? So then it's a simple thing where followed with the variable what you're going to define it. That is this variable is what you call the object, you call it as. Then you define all these attributes you're going to define it. So this is one way how we are going to define the properties for your object. Now remember, in case of your objects, we'll not only have what you call properties. Okay, we'll have properties plus we have what you call methods will be there in the objects. Okay, understand what I'm telling? So we'll have properties and methods, both will be there for us in the object. So when you say methods, what are these methods? Means methods are nothing but the some actions that you are defining it in the object. So for example, let us say that you want to define an object, a method called full name. Now, when I'm going to define this method called full name, so what I want this full name is a method that should return me both these values combined together. So what are those two values? First name and last name both should be combined and it should be returning me those two values. Then I'm going to define one method. So remember, methods are nothing but the actions that you are defining it for the objects. So generally, as I said you that the object consists of properties and the object consists of the methods. What are these methods? Methods are nothing but the actions. What are these properties? Properties are generally used for defining the data of the particular object, right? So data plus the actions. So what are the actions that you want to define? That you're going to define it using what you call methods. When you talk about the data, so data we are going to talk about using what you call properties. That means internally what will happen is when you talk about the data, we are going to use what variables you are going to use it for storing the data. So when you talk about the actions, for the actions, we are going to define the functions will be defining it inside the object. That means an object is a combination of variable and functions both put together under one entity you're going to have it. Now generally when you talk about this entity, what you call whatever may be the entity that you're going to define. So for example, let us say that I'm going to have an entity called person is the entity there. In this person entity, I'm going to have these first name, last name are there, right? So these are going to be the properties. Here I have not defined any method over there. No issues in that. So I'm going to define the method here. So this method will talk about how the data has to be, what are the actions that you want to perform that you're going to define it. Okay. Now here one has to remember that, so when I'm going to talk about the functions, the name, when you're talking about the objects, we use a different terminology we are going to use what you call method. But as such, a method and a function both are same. But only method is in a terminology that you are going to use when you are talking about objects, right? Okay. So as we said that the object will be acting as a container for us for storing both the properties and methods, both combined together. It will be acting as one object for us. That is, objects are the containers for us. So where we have both. Okay, that is the variables and functions will be there for. When I talk about defining an object, okay, so you can define the object using different method, I mean different ways you can use it. Like for example, I can make use of one keyword called object, and you can make use of it and you can define the object. Or you can also use a keyword called new, can be made use of it and you can define it. Now we'll see one example. We'll say this. Okay, already we have seen the example, nothing to worry about that. This is how you're going to define one object. Now remember, when you're going to define the object you're going to define and the properties you're going to define, it is always advised is not to use the spaces in between the property names or a function name. Either you're going to define a method or you're going to define a property, it's better not to use them, the spaces in between. Like for example, as I have used here, first name. So don't use a space between first and the name. Okay, it's better not to use them. Right, you talk about the eye color. So for eye color also, I'm not defining any space. It is always, it's the better one to have it. Now, one more thing, remember that when you talk about the object definition, I'll just get back. Yeah. In this case, if you look in the object definition, what I'm doing, I'm trying to do it everything in one line. So that is first name, last name. Because of the space constraint, I have moved to the next line. Age, eye color, I'm defining it. Either you write like this, okay, everything you can put into one line, or you can have them in different lines. So as in this case, right? So what I'm doing, first name I'm defining in one line, last name in one line, age in one line, eye color in one line. Now, what is the difference? What does it makes me a difference? No, nothing, no difference is there. Either you put it everything into one line, or you can put them into multiple lines. There is no much difference there. As such, there is no difference. But if you're doing like this, okay, if I'm going to put every property, I'm going to put it one line. Okay, then what happens is this enhances the readability of your code. It's going to enhance it. So it is always better you follow something like this kind. So where the code enhancement will be there, it will be easy for you to understand the code and all that. Okay. Yeah. We are talking about how the new keyword here, right? So new keyword can be used and I can define the object. So where person is equal to new object I'm writing, and then I can start defining the properties. So if you want to define the properties, you'll say what? So the object name is person. Then what is the attribute that you want to define? I want to define the attribute called first name, then object, that is the object is the person dot first name is equal to John. So person dot last name is equal to Doe. Like this, you can define the different properties can be defined. Or either you follow this method or you can follow this method. Both are same for us. There is no, okay, as such, there is no difference there between these two. Right? Either way I can do it. Either I can do first the object definition can be done, then I'll put all the properties there with their values. Or so I define directly the variable, I mean the object called person, and then I'll put all the data into it. Either way you can do it. Either this method or I can have this method can be followed. Right? Anything can be followed. There is no much, I mean, there is nothing problem. Okay. Yeah. See, when I'm going to talk about my objects, so for the objects, I can access the data what is there in my object. For example, so person is the object that you are going to define it. And if I want to access the data, that is data, as I said, we said that the data is nothing but the properties you call it as. Now, if I want to access the data from my object, then what I do is person dot first name is my property there. So I'll be using person dot first name. If I use it, it will try to get me the access the data. We'll take one example, better example I'll take now. What I'm doing is I'm trying to create an object called words here. Okay, the last one, the blue box I'm talking about. I'm creating an object called words. So into which I'm trying to assign multiple values I'm trying to assign. Okay, for example, A, I'm defining one property. Into this, I'm going to put the value called apple. B is another object. Then sorry, another property. In this, I am assigning the value as bar B. So like that, three different values I am defining it, or three different properties I am defining for words there. When I want to access it, one method is you use the object name followed with the property. That is words dot a. If I am writing it, then it's going to get me the data from the first object. That is for the first property. It's going to get me the data. That is why wherever the and the value that you are defined as a, from that it will be getting you. Now, or what I can do is I can use the words object followed with the box bracket, and then you use double quotes followed with the property name. Then also it's going to give me what? It's going to return me the data from that particular object. Or I can also, it comes a question now. I have defined it as a capital letter property. Name of my property is a capital letter. I'm trying to access the property name with the small letter. Remember, we know that JavaScript is a case sensitive. So then what happens automatically, if I'm trying to access the property name with small letter like this one, so this is going to give me the error, or it says it's going to give me the value says undefined, right? So the value will be, the property is going to be undefined for me. Okay, then so just I was telling you now, remember, if I'm going to use these spaces as a in between the property name, then you cannot make the dot the dot property, sorry, to access the members of the object you cannot access the dot. Let me tell you this again. Here what we did, when I'm trying to access the data of my object called words, I'm using dot a, or open the box bracket, I'm writing the double quotes a there. Okay, something like this I'm writing it. Two different ways I'm using. But if I'm using the space in my property name like this one, then you cannot use the the dot operator cannot be used to access the properties. So that gives me the error for me, right? Okay, that has to be remembered. And if you want to change the values of it, you can always change the values by giving the whatever the value that you want to change for the property. You can give the property name and you can change the values there. We have seen this, how to work with this new object and all I have explained you. Now remember, when I'm going to talk about my objects, and if I'm trying to assign the value of an object to another variable, right? For example, I'm defining this object called person here, and then I'm trying to assign the value of this object called person to the x variable, and then I'm trying to access the x dot value, and then I'm trying to change the value of the age property to 10. Then remember, automatically it's going to make the changes to both the person variable and as well as to the x variable. Why it is so like this? Because it's going to create the references are going to be created, but it is not going to create a new copy of the object is not going to be created, but instead what will happen, the both objects will be pointing to, or they refer to same data. So any changes that you are going to make it here, that will be reflecting for both the objects, right? That has to be remembered by you. And if you talk about defining the functions inside that, so what you can do is you can just say I'm trying to define a function called show info there. So colon function name, then open the flower braces, then you're going to write, okay, what are the different properties that you're going to access and all that you're going to define. Now, important thing that you need to remember is we are going to use here something called this. This is a keyword, so which is going to access, or it is going to return me the data of the same object in which you are working. For example, when I'm using where person, if I'm using now when I say this is a property, it's a predefined property for me, so which refers to the same object in which you are working. So when I say this dot first name, if I'm referring, now then what happened, it refers to the first name of that particular object, like that. So if I'm using this followed with the object name, if I'm sorry, the property name, if I'm accessing it, it is going to access the data of the same object for us, okay, like that. Okay, if I want to call the methods, if I want to call the object name dot show info is a method that we are defining it. When I call this show info method, then what happens, it's automatically it's going to call the show info method. So inside that show info method, what I'm doing, so I'm trying to, here is one what I'm talking about. Show info is a method. So here what I'm doing is I'm trying to return the name and the last name, both the values. I'm trying to put it into some variable, and then I'm asking to return the value of that variable. So then what will happen? Now here it's going to return me the first name and the last name values are going to be returned for us. Okay. Let's see some practical thing like how it's going to work out for us and all that. So I'll just go to my Visual Studio Visual Code, right? So here I want to have the objects. Then, so let us talk about the script part. I'm writing the script. So in the script, I want to create an object there. So where keyword you can make use of it, or you can also omit it. Now I want to create an object called stu, right? Let's see this. So what I want to do is I want to create, or what you call define. Sorry. So I want to define an object. Okay. So what is an object now? So I want to define an object called student. I want to define it. Now, what are the properties that I want to have for this? So what are the properties that I want to have for the student now? So what I do is I'll take a roll number, or you call it as a hall ticket number. Then I want to have student name, S name I'm taking it. And then, okay, let's say I'm having a fees there. So these are the properties that I want to define. Then I want to have only one method will define. So what is the method that will define is, so simple method I will take. So the simple method is show data. Okay, I'm trying to follow some naming convention here. If the method name consists of two words for me, the next word I'm going to start with a capital letter, nothing more than that. Now this is what I want to define this. So let's go back to my code then. So I want to define the object called stu. I'm using a shortcut name, or you can write the student. It is equal to, open the flower braces. Then what is our requirement? My requirement is the properties that I need to define is HTNO, S name, and fees. These are the three properties. So how the properties will be defining? So HTNO colon, then followed with, I'll be writing some code there. Okay, let me write it as 21 F3 1A0 501, right? This is my value for that. Okay, 21 F3 1A0 I'm writing it, comma. Then I want to have one more. What is the property we want to have it? We wanted to have the property called S name. So S name is another property, colon, followed with the name you are going to write. So I am writing a name as, okay, Amar. Then one more property I want to have it. What is the one more property I want to have? Fees there, right? Here I'll define fees colon, and then, okay, let us say it's going to be 35 1 2 3 35,000. It's going to be, either you put everything into one line, or what we can do, either you can have this method. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this. Okay, when I want to talk about the definition part, so either I can put everything into one line, or what you can do, you can try to divide them into multi-line. So how I define it into multi-line? So then you have this student, then this S name, then fees, then you define the flower brace, so close the flower brace. Either you do this way or that way. Any one of the method can be followed, but the second method is going to enhance the readability of the application, is going to be enhancing for me. So it's, this method is preferred for me than this method, right? Okay. So I think, okay, we don't have any issues in that, right? How we are going to do it. So either of the method you can do it, either this method or that method can be followed. But only the second method, what happens, it's going to enhance me the readability of my application. It's going to do it. Then, so what I'm doing is I'll try to print the values of it. So document dot write function, I'm using it. Then I want to print the student hall ticket number. Student hall ticket number HTNO, I'm writing it, plus, okay, I want to print the value there. I want to get the value from my student object. So student, sorry, dot HTNO, I can make use of it to access the data, right? So this is for accessing the data from. So when I want to access the data of this, so accessing the data, so when I'm talking about accessing the data of it, then what I'm doing, so I'm writing student dot object, that is student dot property I'm writing, or I can also write what student, open the box bracket, then in double quotes you can give the name of the property there. Both can be done, but remember it is case sensitive, so I cannot make use of the capital letter for that, right? Yeah. So this is how you can access the property there. So let me use one more now, one more property, sorry. So I want to have one more property I want to use it. Now one is hall ticket number. So then I want to print the student name I want to print. So what I'm doing is I'm using the BR tag there so that it moves to the next line for me. Student dot name. So here the second one I'll access it using the box bracket. So using its name, s name property I'm writing it. Okay. Then so I want one more, that is the fees to be printed. So fees I'm taking it, so of fees I'm writing. Okay, right. I'll just save this. I'll go to the browser. I'm moving to the browser. Then I'll open my file, control plus O I'm using it. Then my file name is C2 I given. I'll just say open this. Now you can see that, okay, the data is going to be there, the hall ticket number, then name, and then fees. Or here there is no space between there, right? What you can do is, so hall ticket number, I'm using double colon symbol. It's going to print me the colon symbol as a separating character between the message and the data for us. I'll just say refresh. Now you can see that the double quotes, double colon symbol is printed as a separating character between this message and the value for me, right? Like that. That's how you can access the data there. Now here what I have done is individually I'm trying to access the data of these particular objects there. Now, so what we can do is I want to have a function to be there for me. Then student dot show data, I want to have a function. So show data function, I'm writing it. So there, okay. So I want to return the values there. Return, what is the data that I want to have? I want to return the hall ticket number and all that I want to return. So I'm using double quotes followed with HTNO. So I'll ask it to use this plus, and then I'm writing this I'm using. So this indicates what? It's in a current object, s dot HTNO I'm using it. Okay, then plus I'll use a BR tag so that it moves to the next line for me, and then it's going to print me the name. So name, then plus I'll use this object dot s name I'm using it, plus the BR tag I'm going to use it again to move to the next line, then plus, okay, then I'm writing this dot fees I'm writing. So here it's going to be fees form, right? So this is how we are defining the function. Either you write it outside or you can put it everything into one line. So if you want to have it inside also, we can do it. Let's we'll see this. Then what I'm doing, so I'll call the document object dot write method of, so I'll call the function now here. So by using plus the name of the object is student, then dot show data I'm writing. Okay, I'll call the method there. Right. So that has been data for me printed. I'll save this. I'll go to my browser, refresh the browser. Something went wrong. Control Shift. What is the shortcut key for the? What is the shortcut key for the console?
Control Shift J.
Very good. Okay. So I've used the Control Shift and J. I have used. It says that it is unexpected token something flower brace. Okay. What is that missing here for me? Okay. It is equal to function. Yeah, Let me refresh. Now I got the data there, right? So the problem what we did is when I'm defining the function outside, so then I'm writing student dot show data, that is the function that I want to define. So as per the problem statement for us. So what is that problem statement for me? I want to have a method called show data method. So what this method does means this method will return me this data for me. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm writing the method show data method. It's equal to function, open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis, flower braces. Then I'm defining these things outside my class. Sorry, outside my object. Or what I can do is I can put everything into one same code itself. I can put into it. So let us see the another method. This is one method how we do things. I'll just do one thing. I'll just copy the whole script. I'll copy it. Let me copy the script. Yeah, copied the script there. So this is one method. The another method also we can have it. Either you can break it into multiple lines. So I'm just trying to break them into multi-line so that we can understand things better. Nothing more than that. Other than that, nothing. So I'll just cut this, comma. I'm writing a function name. So show data is my name of the function. It's equal to open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis, open the flower braces, and then you're going to define them. So we are done this one. I'll save this. I'll save this. This is another method how we do things. Something went wrong. What is that went wrong for me? Got invalid property initialization error. Okay, sorry. It should be colon symbol. When you're defining it inside, you should be having the colon there. So only when you're going to define outside, then you'll be using the equal to symbol, right? So this is how it's going to be accessing for me the data there. So this is another method how you do it. Either you can have it inside the object itself, or you can have it outside the object. That's your wish how you are going to define it. It has not copied. I'll just copy this. This is another method, or another method I've defined it. Either you can have it inside or outside the definition part. So this is outside the object definition. So this part is inside the object definition. You can have it, any method can be followed. Either this method or the previous method, any of the methods you can follow it. Okay. So you have any questions, you can unmute your microphone and let me know it. Otherwise, no issues in that. So we'll try to complete it, and then we'll have one more session. We'll talk about again any errors are there. Anything that you're not able to understand, that we'll discuss once again. We'll discuss that. So this is how we are going to define. Either you use the keyword called where and do it, or without the where keyword also we can do it. No, nothing to be worried there. Using a word var keyword is not compulsory there. Okay. Yeah. So this is how we are going to define the objects and all this. Now, if you can also make sure the for each loop can be used, like what we have seen in case of the arrays. So here also we can make sure the array objects can be made, so like similar to the array objects. So here also we can make sure the for each loop can be made use of for accessing your data from the object.